Eric DeFade, and in our studios, Lauren Leonard. Good to see you, Lauren. You do the voiceover for the commercial we've been playing for the event. You're here to talk about Blue Notes and Blessings.
That's right. Thursday, May 7th, next week.
And you've got a radio voice, I got to say. But we're talking Blue Notes and Blessings. It's a jazz evening benefiting Catholic education a week from this Thursday, May 7th, 6:30 p.m. at the Seven Oaks Country Club. And the Blue Notes and the music's going to be coming from our friend Eric DeFade, who's on the line. Eric, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Anytime you're on stage, it's a great thing. And talk about Blue Notes and Blessings. What kind of music do you and your wife have in store for us?
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, we very excited to do this program, specifically about Catholic jazz musicians as well as musicians that are from the Pittsburgh area. So we're doing two sets, and some of it's going to be the Pittsburgh-based musicians, music by Stanley Turrentine and Billy Strayhorn and those kind of entertainers. And, of course, the features will be about Dave Brubeck and Mary Lou Williams.
Great selections there. And, Laura, now that I have your microphone turned on, people reminded me, hey, turn her mic on. So we're talking about this event. It's a fundraiser for Catholic education in Beaver County. You are the advancement director for Saints Peter and Paul in Beaver. And talk about the importance of an event like this.
That's right. Yeah. So the first time ever, we're bringing together our 3 Catholic schools in Beaver County. That's Our Lady of Fatima School in Hopewell, St. Monica Catholic Academy in Beaver Falls, and Saints Peter and Paul School in Beaver. And we're excited to have just a wonderful, elegant evening and an experience to broaden awareness and support for Catholic education here in Beaver County.
It's awesome. And talking about a bunch of things, all collaborating: jazz music, cigars, the fine food at Seven Oaks. Eric DeFade, talk about who you will have on stage with you.
So we were very fortunate. Well, in addition to my wonderful wife on lead vocals, she'll be singing all the Mary Lou Williams pieces. And in addition to that, we have Dr. Alton Merrill on piano, Paul Thompson on bass, and Thomas Wendt on drums. And that also happens to be the Pittsburgh Jazz Orchestra rhythm section. So these guys are absolutely the tops of the top, but they all have a connection to the Pittsburgh scene very deeply, and they're internationally renowned, just phenomenal musicians, and I'm privileged to always share the stage with them. I say whenever I'm playing with the Pittsburgh Jazz Orchestra, I have the best seat in town because I'm about 5 feet away from Dr. Alton Merrill. And it's like watching Herbie Hancock live.
Oh,
it's absolutely incredible.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm always singing your praises, Eric. I always mention 2-time Grammy Award winner. You've been on WQED for a lot of the concerts they have done, and you really raised the jazz game in Pittsburgh as well. So shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
This artist that you're celebrating, part of the set, Mary Lou Williams, also ties in with Catholic. I guess she was she became Catholic later in her life, but her style of music, it's influential, but maybe it doesn't quite have the audience it should have. Are you going to be talking a bit about her life as you're performing and kind of giving people the backstory?
We are. We're going to introduce each of the songs and say what the backstory is for the song and talk about Mary Lou Williams as a composer and as a person. She did convert to Catholicism later in her career, but all along she was one of these musicians very similar to Miles Davis that never really stopped developing. All the way through her career, she started off kind of like in the post-bop era, classic kind of jazz songs, and then she moved into kind of a soul direction, also wrote some liturgical works. Just a very prolific composer, and as you say, it's true. She's way more influential than she might get credit for, but in Pittsburgh, of course, we know her because through Manchester Craftsman's Guild doing all the Smithsonian work and the documentary they put out, they had a big portion of that project was dedicated to raising awareness about Mary Lou Williams and her work.
And another of the artists you'll be celebrating, Dave Brubeck. That's a name people have heard as far as jazz, but for works like Take 5. But talk about what Dave Brubeck meant to the jazz world and the music world in general.
So Dave Brubeck came in at a time where the jazz landscape was dominated by what we call the hard bop scene, the East Coast, the John Coltrane era, Charlie Parker, Miles Davis, all that kind of stuff from New York. He came in a different direction with it, with a more cool approach, like what we call like a West Coast approach. And he put out an album called Time Out, which was really very innovative for its time. And that's the album that Take 5 was on. And Take 5 is actually a play on words. It's obviously a connotation of taking a break, but it also is written in 5/4 time, and so that's kind of I guess this is his most famous song, and we'll certainly be playing it. But he wrote just a ton of material that was very great, and he was a great contributor, not only as an instrumentalist but as a composer.
So world-class jazz artist celebrated by world-class jazz musicians from Pittsburgh, raising money for Catholic education. Eric, we're going to have you hold on for a minute. We got Noah Haswell, our news director, going to come in and read a bit of the news. So you just hold tight, all right?
Okay, I'll sit right here. Thanks.
All right, and Noah, if you're ready, I'll cue you up right now. We'll give you a little theme song here. Check out Eric. You're a jazz guy. What do you think about this music here?
Beaver County Radio's news source. 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and beavercountyradio.com. Here's Noah Haswell.
Good morning on this Wednesday, April the 29th of 2026. We will have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after we take this look at news. Multiple people were arrested yesterday after federal agents executed arrest warrants across the Pittsburgh area. The FBI's Pittsburgh office said it carried out 4 federal arrest warrants with assistance from the Pennsylvania State Police and the United States Postal Inspection Service. Authorities said the arrests are connected to what they described as a widespread drug trafficking organization operating from California to western Pennsylvania. An additional arrest warrant was executed in California in connection with the case. FBI Pittsburgh and our partners stand committed to protecting our community from this deadly poison, officials said. An Enon Valley man facing multiple charges in Columbiana County, Ohio, has entered a guilty plea in one of his cases. 50-year-old George Fiesel pleaded guilty Monday to aggravated possession of drugs, a 5th-degree felony. He is scheduled to be sentenced in June. The charge stems from an April 2025 incident involving methamphetamine. Fiesel was indicted under seal in October 2025 in connection with that case. In a separate matter, Fiesel was charged in January after being accused of assaulting another man and breaking into a home on East 3rd Street in Salem, Ohio. A grand jury declined to pursue felony charges in that case, and it was returned to municipal court where proceedings are ongoing. PennDOT and Pennsylvania State Police are reminding Pennsylvanians to put down the phone while driving or they will be forced to pay a fine starting June 5th under Paul Miller's law. This prohibits the use of handheld devices while driving, even while stopped temporarily due to traffic, a red light, or other delays. A fire broke out at a home in Newcastle yesterday. Fire crews were called to the 800 block of East Lutton Street around 4:30 a.m. The top 2 floors of the home sustained visible damage. No injuries were reported, and the cause of the fire remains under investigation. And Moon Township Parks and Recreation will host a new community event, Sasquatch and Snacks, from 4 to 8 p.m. May 2nd at Moon Park. The free event will feature Bigfoot-themed games and activities for children, including science and art projects, and a 4 p.m. reading of the book How to Catch Bigfoot. Organizers said researchers Eric Altman, Stan Gordon, and Tommy Hawk will speak about their work studying the legendary creature. Additional activities include a Sasquatch-themed scavenger hunt and opportunities for photos with a Bigfoot character. The event will also feature food trucks offering themed menu items along with craft vendors, music, and beer from Squatch Brewing. This newscast is being brought to you by Rome Monument.
Hi, folks. I'm with our good friend John Diagardi from Rome Monument. John, you were telling me earlier that people really should not rush into choosing a memorial for their loved one. Now, why is that?
We found that families need to take ample time to grieve first. Grief is not something that we get over, but rather something that we learn to live with. So the length of time to grieve varies from person to person.
You mentioned that the monument can't be placed right away.
That's right. There are certain things that need to take place before a monument can be installed. So it's really worth taking time to think about how to plan and design a memorial that truly reflects a person's life. It's actually a healing activity that helps to alleviate grief.
John, this makes a lot of sense.
It does. And when the time is right to proceed, not only can Rome Monument help families choose and design their memorial, we can help them save as much as 50% by eliminating the middleman.
Thank you, John. Folks, you can learn more simply by visiting RomeMonuments.com.
Weather on the Nines is brought to you by Homer 9 & Sons Heating and Cooling. Quality home comfort since 1943. Call 1-800-834-9 or visit Homer, the number 9.com. BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Today we will see showers and thunderstorms likely before noon, otherwise a high near 63, and tonight it will be cloudy skies, then gradually becoming partly cloudy with a low of around 39. I'm Noah Haswell with your Beaver County weather.
When it comes to heating and air conditioning in Beaver County, you have lots of choices. But there's one name local homeowners have trusted for generations. This is Eric Nine from Homer 9 & Sons. For 4 generations, families across Beaver County and beyond have relied on Homer 9 for dependable comfort and honest service. With that kind of experience, it's easy to see why so many customers keep coming back again and again. Now is the perfect time to call before the summer heat arrives. For a limited time, get your AC tune-up for just $79. Homer 9 will clean your system, test it, inspect it, and make sure everything is running properly before the first hot day hits. And if you need a new system, you can choose from trusted brands like Lennox and more. Call 1-800-834-NINE or visit homer9.com. Homer 9 & Sons Heating and Cooling. Quality home comfort since 1943.
On this Wednesday, April the 29th of 2026 at 10 minutes after 8, we've got a temperature of 57 degrees with a light drizzle of rain out there currently in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM, AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM, and 1460 AM WMBA. Also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Thank you, Noah. We are joined in studio by Lauren Leonard, Advancement Director for Saints Peter and Paul Schools, and on the phone, Eric DeFade, jazz musician extraordinaire, talking about Blue Notes and Blessings, a jazz evening benefiting Catholic education taking place May 7th at Seven Oaks Country Club. And this is we first had this idea presented by our friend Stephen Catanzarite, one of the founders of Lincoln Park Performing Arts Center. He was our guest, and he was describing a night of great food, conversations, cigars, music, and he was definitely shouting out you, Lauren Leonard, and your importance to this. And we're going to get into your acting. First time I interviewed you was you were in a Winn-Dixie commercial or something like that, or
Yeah, I was the beef girl.
Is that what it was? And here you are.
Yeah.
And Eric DeFade on the line. I know you got to go at 8:30, so I'll get to you too. But I've written a bunch of stories and covered your career for a long time. And so cool gathering. What about the vibe at Seven Oaks, Eric? Is that a kind of place jazz cats like you like to play?
I think it's actually the perfect location. It's a very elegant place, and it's pretty well located for everybody to get to, and it's just a beautiful room to play in, and very excited. I played there years ago for some events. It's been a while since I've been there myself, and I'm really looking forward to playing there. It's amazing, in this area, people take it for granted. We have Blue Notes and Blessings, and we've got Sasquatch and snacks. Like, who could ever argue with the entertainment choices here?
And they say there's nothing to do in Beaver County. And I can tell Lauren's a professional actress. She kept a straight face when Noah was reading about the Sasquatch Festival or whatever, and didn't break character. So this event at Seven Oaks, all in support of a meaningful mission. And if you can talk a bit about that, Lauren, and any ideas about how this money, would it be earmarked for certain programs or just in the general operating budget? Or?
Yep, general operating budget, yeah. And it's really just, like I said, to broaden awareness and support for our Catholic schools, support our students and families. And like I said, it's for Our Lady of Fatima School, St. Monica Catholic Academy, and Saints Peter and Paul School. This is sort of the pilot, if you will, for collaboration throughout the region. And so we're going to test it out here and just all come together in a unified night to enjoy company. Like you said, great food, cigars. If you like drinks, food, music, or cigars, we've got something for you.
Well, we have a daily testimonial of St. Monica, or one of their alums, Noah Haswell, was just in here reading the news. So
that's right. He said he's going to get his ticket.
Yeah. Let me set the table here. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. with appetizers and drinks. At 7 o'clock, the band performs a cocktail set. 7:45, the carving station's open. 8:15, the band performs its second set. And you got to have dessert and coffee and conversation to end it off at 9 p.m. So registration includes the live music, appetizers, the supper. You get 2 drink tokens and a custom-rolled cigar, free parking. So to go to bluenotesandblessings.org to get your tickets. And Eric DeFade, so the band performs a cocktail set. What does that sound like?
So basically, the connotation for cocktail set means sort of background-ish, but we're gonna rock it out anyway. It's something that people can talk over and mingle with, and they can listen, hopefully, or choose not to, and just kind of be more atmospheric in the approach. And as I said, the second set will be more of like the feature set of the theme of the evening. But yeah, so I actually really enjoy those kind of sets. It's more intimate. We can keep the volume down and really just kind of communicate with each other on stage. And it's really kind of a cool aspect of playing gigs. I always enjoy the cocktail set.
Now, I was thinking of you as a sax player, but I saw some footage. You were doing a tribute to the Beatles, Fool on the Hill. It looked like you were playing clarinet and.
That was soprano saxophone. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I only got a quick look at that, but and your career in Beaver County and in Pittsburgh, I mentioned the WQED shows you did, and what are some other places people have seen you perform? The Jazz in the Box series at Lincoln Park. Where has Eric DeFade, seen some of his biggest audiences here? So recently, I've been at a place in Southside called Carmela's Plates and Pints. I'm there the first Friday of every month, and that is really a great location, and we get a great crowd out for that. I play fairly often at Con Alma downtown in Pittsburgh, which is, I don't know if you've been there before, it's on Penn, right across the stage door from Heinz Hall. And that's one of the best jazz rooms around, and I really enjoy playing that one. I play a New Orleans brunch at a place called Shoe Brew in Zillionople. And I still do shows at the Benedum. As a matter of fact, I'm playing in conjunction with the Wynton Marsalis All Rise event with Pittsburgh Symphony at Heinz Hall. I'm playing beforehand with my trio from Lincoln Park students. That's what we're talking about, world-class jazz from a local guy. And you mentioned Lincoln Park. You're one of the faculty members out there. And talk about your work with Lincoln Park. Yeah, it's been great. It's hard to believe it's been 20 years since I've been there. And it's just been a fantastic experience. I love the facility. I love all the people there. The students are great. And for the most part, the great thing is with students at an art school, they want to be there. Yeah. A big part of the battle. And so I just got a lot of, over the years, and especially currently, just an amazing amount of talented kids. And we're also going to do our free summer music camp this summer again for ages 5th grade through 9th grade. And that starts on June 15th. And that's a completely free summer camp for students in the Beaver County area. I was doing some guest teaching out there, journalism, a couple years ago, and I would walk by your classroom, and I would hear the music coming out of there, and I'm like, those can't be students in there. But you would look in, and it was. Yeah, it's amazing what they can do now. And like I said, they really want to be there, and the attitudes are really great. And the thing that really sets it apart also is every a private lesson, which no other school really has that. So if they choose not to take lessons outside of school, they at least skip that one in school, and not to mention multiple ensembles and theory classes and so on. They could be totally prepared for college at any level by the time if they follow it all the way through. And speaking of schools, we're here with Lauren Leonard as well, the advancement director for Saints Peter and Paul. So you said this also raises awareness for Catholic education locally. Talk about that. What are some of the advantages of seeking that kind of education, and what do you hope people learn about the local Catholic schools here in Beaver County? Absolutely, yeah. So with Saints Peter and Paul School, we're kind of like the best kept secret in Beaver there, tucked away on East End Avenue. But it's about educating and helping these children become a whole child. We're grounded in faith and values. We have a strong sense of community. Our parents are very involved with their students and their lives, and just sort of that moral compass that we all need, quite frankly, nowadays. One of the things people talk about is funding these days. Is that an issue for you guys as well? I'm sure money's tight for some people. What are some of the challenges there? Sure, yeah. So we recently received a significant gift through the EITC program. So that will change sort of the way that the model is structured currently. And so we work with families that no matter how many children that you may have, or that if it's something that you really want to send your child to Catholic school, we will make that happen. We will do everything we can to assist you and support you through that. And while it's not related to education, I can't think of Saints Peter and Paul without thinking of the pierogies there and the fish fries. And the fish fry, yeah. Guys are renowned for that. But for this Seven Oaks event, we're talking a carving station, so that's going to be something pretty special. Cocktails, dessert, coffee, and conversation. Eric DeFade, there's also custom-rolled cigars. As a musician, you don't smoke cigars, do you? Or do you have the occasional one? I tried.
Let's just do it that way. Years ago, when the balcony was still open in Shadyside, the guy that found the balcony big band, H.G. Bennett, he actually played with Prince. He played with Billy Price with us. He's a great guy. He got into the cigar thing like big time, trying to find Cubans and the whole thing. And I did my level best to try a couple of them, and I just did not like it. So.
You're better off, I'm sure, as a jazz.
But I appreciate the culture of it. I appreciate the craft of it and the culture of it. I'm all for it, but I just can't do it myself.
Well, what the organizer of this, Stephen Catanzarite's done, he's brought in a local cigar sommelier. And you think of wine sommeliers, but there's a cigar one. His name's Vince Orend, and people know him from Beaver County. He's had some cigar shops around town. He will be on hand with custom cigars, and he's going to teach people, if you want, you can roll your own cigar. He will offer his expert guidance right there, but how often do you get a chance to do that? Roll your own cigar. You'll learn how.
That might change it for me. That might make it more attractive. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very unique Beaver County event. We're talking about Blue Notes and Blessings, a jazz evening benefiting Catholic education. I got one break to get to. Eric, can you hang on for like 5 more minutes? Or, I'm sorry, like 3 more minutes?
Yeah, that's good. Thanks.
All right, hold tight.
Back by popular demand, The Time Machine with Frank Sparks. Every Friday from 10 a.m. to noon, we'll strap into our 1968 VW Bus Time Machine and head back in time to a year that is picked out by a listener.
Tell me, doctor, where are we going this time?
We'll talk about all of the trends and listen to songs from the Hot 100 of that year. So mark your calendar to tune in each and every Friday here on Beaver County Radio.
Step back into time and flip into fun at Pinball PA, the ultimate arcade and museum where classic games come alive. Located off Broadhead Road in the Hopewell Shopping Center, Pinball PA invites you to play with 400 pinball machines and video games, from rare gems to your all-time favorites like Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Asteroids, Frogger, and the latest pinball hits. Perfect for families, friends, field trips, birthdays, and gamers of all ages, Pinball PA is open Tuesdays through Sundays with unlimited play for one low price. No quarters needed. Learn more at pinballpa.com. And you don't want to miss Beaver County Radio Night at Pinball PA. Come on out May 8th from 5 to 7 p.m. Hang out with Frank Sparks and me, Scott Tatey, playing pinball and old-fashioned arcade games. There'll be prizes for winners, plus ice cream from the Hopewell Brewsters and hoagies from Yinzer Fusion. May 8th. See you there.
It's hard to even put a title on what Tom Young at First Consultants in Beaver does. Calling him a financial planner or an insurance salesman or even a life coach still doesn't accurately describe the experience. That's because he brings dreams back to life or puts life back into retirement.
My job is to create in you the vision of the you that I think you can be, the place that I think you can get to. And you know what? I get frustrated because I see more greatness in people than they see in themselves. I see greater financial futures than they see in themselves. Most people don't believe they can get there.
Find out more by visiting firstconsultantsinc.com or engage in Tom Young's live simulcast presentation on the third Tuesday of each month beginning at 9:10 a.m. on Beaver County Radio and Facebook Live. All advisory services are offered through PL Wealth LLC. PL Wealth is a federally registered investment advisor. PL Wealth is in no way affiliated with First Consultants Inc., nor is First Consultants Inc. a registered investment advisor.
Put freedom in your future. Freedom United Federal Credit Union in Rochester.
Jazz music from Eric to Fade from that was 15 years ago. Eric, you were on playing Four on the Hill. Do you remember that?
Phenomenal. Yeah, that show live from Studio A was a great experience. We brought in all these different groups. We started out as a Christmas show, which we still do live every year, the Holiday Jam. But then we started doing some a couple summers. We did like kind of like a variety show that's backing different groups. And the one event was like all Beatles music. You know, Pete Hewlett, tremendous vocalist, and Scott Anderson, keyboard player, just, great players. Dave Brown from Gathering Field played guitar on that, just like a really stacked band. And we did all these different versions, and we brought in the Clarks, did a couple Beatles tunes, and there was a spot for one that was more along the jazz line, so I reharmonized "Fool on the Hill" and played it on soprano saxophone. It's sort of like a modern kind of samba feel.
It sounds great. I do remember that. That was on WQED. They would show those, right?
Yeah. They showed them for a long time, and then after I started doing the national ones, for a while there, I got to watch myself age on public television. They ran them constantly for 20 years, like saying, "Oh yeah, there I am with a lot more hair."
That's those TV cameras. They're brutal, but now you're still looking great. I always run the publicity photo of you. You're standing on, I believe it's the Clemente Bridge or the Warhol Bridge, and you're doing a sax solo. That's a short.
That's the Clemente Bridge, and people accuse that of being AI, but that was Joey Kennedy, the photographer. We did a photo shoot for the Cultural Trust several years ago, and that bridge was closed for the Pirate game. You know, they closed it just for walking traffic, and during the game, we went up on the bridge deck, and I climbed up, and they got the shot.
Did anybody walk by and like try to throw a dollar at you or something? I thought you were.
There was actually this guy that plays saxophone on the street down there, and he thought I was a different saxophone player than I was, and it was pretty funny. I wanted to get down and play a couple tunes with him, but I was too busy.
Well, listeners, you get a chance to hear Eric DeFade and his wife on vocals performing at what we're calling Blue Notes and Blessings. It's a jazz evening benefiting Catholic education, Thursday, May 7th at the Seven Oaks Country Club right there on Lisbon Road, Ohioville, off of Tuscarawas Road. Music, Eric mentioning you'll be highlighting a couple artists, including Pittsburgh native Mary Lou Williams, as well as the great Dave Brubeck. But you got to throw a Beatles song in there too, Eric. Maybe throw a Beatles in there.
Yeah, we could maybe slide one in. Yeah, I can always sneak by some Beatles, sure.
Yeah. I'm giving you your set list as if you need me to help you. But so it's gonna be live jazz, food, and like we said, it's raising money for Catholic education. And Lauren, let's talk about an event. You were just involved in the Beaver Valley Prayer Breakfast, and I understand you guys are trying some innovative things there to bring people together and support Catholic education. What do you know about the Beaver Valley Prayer Breakfast?
Yeah, absolutely. We did that several months ago and had a great turnout, and kind of, mirroring it off of the National Catholic Prayer Breakfast in D.C. that they do every year. And so, it was an opportunity to bring, again, the community together, something a little bit different, innovative. And we're planning to do that again in the fall.
Okay.
More information to come.
We'll have you back in studio.
There we
go. So this is your first time doing a radio interview, and
it is.
You're a consummate pro. And Eric, I knew you got a few more minutes, so I don't want to keep you from your appointment. But Eric DeFade, anything else you think is important for people to know about Blue Notes and Blessings this jazz evening? Bottom line, what makes you excited about the night?
Well, I think it's really a rare opportunity. It's not very often you get to do something like this. It's way more common, 30, 40 years ago, where you could have a great meal and have great music and cigars and drinks. This is, it's a full-on evening of great activities and great music for a great cause. It's just something that it's very cohesive in its planning, and the whole concept of it. I think people are really going to enjoy it. They can come and relax and really just enjoy the evening. And I love these kinds of events because they just pair so well together. And people are advised wear cocktail or evening dress is encouraged. So it's a night people looking sharp, hearing some sharp music, eating some good food. And I think it's a Thursday too, because everyone does stuff on Fridays and Saturdays. Thursday to me is the kickoff of the weekend. I like to do something on a Thursday night. Me too. I always imagine that I'm elongating my weekend by treating Thursday night like another Friday night. Yes, you can always fake your way through Friday at work. You can always give a half effort. It's worth it. All right, Eric, anything else you want to say for us? No, I'm just really appreciate you having us on today, and I really look forward to seeing everybody out there at Seven Oaks, and I hope everybody's enjoying their spring, and we'll see everybody real soon. Awesome, Eric. We do appreciate your time. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. All right, take care. And Lauren, I know you still got a little bit of time with us as well, so you can't throw an event like this without having some sponsors behind you. Anyone you think is important to
Absolutely,
give a shout out to?
So let's thank our families and businesses that are sponsoring this event. We've got Tyson Smith with Edward Jones Advisors, Vince Laval, Macmillan Urick, Tosi and Jones, John and Terry Zebley, Frank McCosey, the Angel Fund of Beaver County, Anderson's Candies, Elevate Barber Lounge, Peter Longcar with Rivertown Advisors, and Snyder Elder Law and Estate Planning. We get you to do all our commercials. Yes. The voice. And talk about it. I've been teasing listeners a bit about, but you have an acting resume. You've done some national work. That's right. That. Yeah, and I think we first connected in, it was around like 2000 to 2003 when I was at Center High School. under the direction of Sandy Riegel with all the musicals.
Now with the Center Theater Players.
Yeah, Center Theater Players as well, yep. And then I studied music theater at Elon University in North Carolina. I came back here. I worked at Lincoln Park for a while. And so I started here and full circle.
But you did some commercials, right?
I did, yes. When I was in Florida, like you had mentioned, the beef girl for Winn-Dixie.
What does she do?
Yes. I drove a truck, and they didn't realize until the morning of, they realized it was a stick shift. And I'm sitting there, and the guy looks at me, the director, and he was like, well, you can drive this, right? And I said, I absolutely can.
Could you?
I did. Yes, and the director had his dog, and he put it in the front seat with me. And so it was a fun shoot. I had actually was working on corporate speech coaching, and I had a contract with AT&T in New York the day before, and I was up there for a performance seminar, and I got stuck in New York and almost pulled an all-nighter. So when I had shot that commercial, I had not slept for several hours. But it was a fun time.
And you've done some corporate like seminars and that kind of thing. Do you have a specific business that does that, or?
I did, yeah. I recently kind of closed that chapter, but I had corporate speech coaching, so I had used the training that I had from theater and performing, and transitioned that to help business professionals with their public speaking, accent reduction, vocal enhancement, and things like that, so they felt comfortable and they were able to tell stories. And use that in, I dealt with a lot of people in tech, right? So sometimes that can get dry. Mm-hmm. So that was a fun time.
So vocal enhancement, any advice for a young DJ, a rookie DJ?
No, I said, you're a pro. You've been doing this for years.
Well, we're going to turn over to our pro news guy, Noah Haswell. He's here with the news headlines.
Thanks, Scott. Our top headlines for news at the top of the hour include multiple people being arrested yesterday after federal agents executed arrest warrants across the Pittsburgh area. Smoky Bones has closed its remaining Western Pennsylvania locations. A man is facing charges after allegedly using fake credentials to access the stage during the 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh. And a bill for Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association public and private high schools postseason tournament moves forward in the State House. For our weather forecast today, we have showers and thunderstorms likely before noon, then showers and possibly a thunderstorm between noon and 4 p.m., then a chance of showers and thunderstorms after 4 p.m., otherwise a high near 63, and the chance of precipitation is 100%. Tonight will be cloudy skies, then gradually becoming partly cloudy with a low of around 39. Wind gusts are as high as 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow will be a chance of showers mainly after 2 p.m., otherwise partly sunny skies with a high near 55, and the chance of precipitation is 30%. And on Friday, it will be a slight chance of showers, then a chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2 p.m., otherwise partly sunny skies with a high near 55, and the chance of precipitation is 40%. On this Wednesday, April the 29th of 2026, at 32 minutes after 8, we've got a temperature of 56 degrees with some fog and mist out there currently in Beaver County. Those stories and more are coming up at 9 o'clock. And that's news headlines. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM, AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM, and 1460 AM WMBA. Also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Now we're going to take a look at what's happening in the world of sports. Just a quick look. Pittsburgh Penguins back in action tonight. Game 6 from Philadelphia. 7:30 start. You can listen to that game right here in Beaver County Radio. Pre-game starting at 7. Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the St. Louis Cardinals yesterday. Here's Joe Block from the Buccos to let us know what happened.
The St. Louis Cardinals have taken the first 2 games of the series by virtue of their 11-7 win over the Pirates on Tuesday night at PNC Park. The Cardinals built an early 6-0 lead off starter Braxton Ashcraft, who went the first 4 1/3 innings. He allowed 2 home runs in a game for the first time in his career. The Pirates would battle back in the bottom of the 6th off the Cardinals starter Kyle Leahy, a leadoff home run by O'Neill Cruz, his 9th of the season. And then Ryan O'Hearn with a 2-run home run made it a 3-run affair. But the Cardinals would get 3 more in the top of the 7th off reliever Hunter Barco and extend the lead to 11-3 before the Pirates would again come back with a 3-run 8th inning off the former Pirate reliever Justin Brule. It would be O'Hearn again driving in a run. He drove in 3. Nick Gonzalez extended his hitting streak to 9 games with 2 hits and 2 RBIs. And then Connor Griffin led off the 9th with his first home run at PNC Park, his second of his career. That made it 11-7, but the Cardinals have taken the first 2 games of the series. From PNC Park, this is Joe Block on your home for Pirates baseball.
Team Penske searches for speed while Logano has his eye on a bigger picture. I'm Kyle Rickey. That story next on NASCAR Hot Pass.
NASCAR fans, iRacing Studios brings you NASCAR 25. Race hundreds of the biggest stars of the sport on top tracks from Daytona to Sonoma. Start your career in the ARCA Menard Series and work your way up to Cup while managing team members, sponsors, and more. Or compete online with NASCAR fans around the world. NASCAR 25, available on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Head to NASCAR25.com to buy now.
For over 3 decades, Racing Electronics has been the #1 choice for scanners, headsets, and race day communication. Racing Electronics delivers the ultimate fan experience to the ultimate NASCAR fan. Hear uncensored communication from every team in the race with a Racing Electronics scanner, or tune in to the live MRN radio broadcast and feel every moment as it happens. Learn more at racingelectronics.com. Be race ready. Be RE equipped.
It's been a tough start to the NASCAR Cup Series season for Team Penske driver Joey Logano, having gone winless in the first 10 races and sitting 15th in the championship standings. Logano is coming off a 39th place effort on Sunday in Talladega, one of 4 finishes 30th or worse this season. He says concern is beginning to set in as the 16-driver Chase Field will be set in 16 races from now.
We're still fairly early in the year, but we know the way this chase format is that we got to get up there in points right now. Like where we're at, it's not okay. We need to start accumulating some good points.
The series heads to the Texas Motor Speedway this weekend, where Logano won a year ago. I'm Kyle Rickey. This is NASCAR Hot Pass on the Motor Racing Network.
We're back. Beaver County Radio. Scott Tatey here. Thank you to Eric DeFade, Grammy-winning jazz saxophonist who will be performing along with his wife May 7th at Seven Oaks Country Club, part of the Blue Notes and Blessings fundraiser for Catholic education in Beaver County. Ticket details, you can buy your tickets directly online, bluenotesandblessings.org. We're joined by Lauren Leonard, who's involved in the event, and she is the advancement director for Saints Peter and Paul. So it's a Thursday night. We get to get all dressed up, put on the suits, cocktail dress, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When do we get to dress up anymore?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. On a Thursday
It's a good
night.
excuse.
Yeah. You were just telling me you've seen Eric play at that place on the south side of Pittsburgh, and you recommend the food.
Carmela's, yeah. Of all things, the meatloaf.
All right.
It's delicious, and it's gluten-free.
Oh.
It can be.
I support that very much so. Well, there are going to be carving stations at this event. They haven't given me the menu yet, but I got to imagine there's going to be
We're working on it.
something pretty tasty. All right.
Be a surprise.
So how did your involvement get into this? Were you talking with Stephen Contanza, the organizer, or was there a natural pairing between? Because I know he's very much a Catholic and wanting to promote the things that they're involved with. Did you see a natural pairing between a nice, elegant event like this and a way to raise awareness and money for Catholic education?
Yes, absolutely. So Stephen and I, we go back to, many, many years ago, as you had said, through Center Theater Players. We had done a show together, Jesus Christ Superstar.
Uh-oh.
He was Judas.
I can see that.
And
well, I hate that. Were you Mary Magdalene or what?
No,
Yeah,
I was in the chorus. I was very young at the time. My brother was in it, and so we had originally met there. We had worked together, like I said, at Lincoln Park for a while, and reconnected in the last couple of years to do some events together. And we're both, in advancement and development for Catholic education. And so we work very well together, and we've got some different visions of what that could look like. It's not the typical sort of Catholic fundraiser, if you will. Fish fries are great, so is bingo, but this is something, like you said, a little bit elevated. Anybody at any age can enjoy this, and an elegant night out. Get dressed up, grab your significant other, your friends, businesses, grab a table, And and just to raise awareness, to let people know that we are here, we're thriving, we're doing well, but we need your support and an excuse to bring the community together.
I should mention tickets are $150 for the general admission, and that gives you the 2 drink tokens, that gives you the rolled cigar, you can have a rolled foyer, you can learn how to do it yourself. That gives you Eric DeFade performing live music, and of course the dinner, the carving station and all. And as you mentioned, Lauren, it's benefiting Our Lady of Fatima, St. Monica Catholic Academy, and Saints Peter and Paul School. So talk about some of the programs at these schools. I know, they have theater programs and music programs as well. I remember back in the day, another example, Beaver County Christian School was always one of the big winners in the Mancini Awards. So Catholic and secular education able to provide, arts as well.
Yes, we do. I had mentioned it's the whole child. We're grounded in faith. We're very community oriented. But we do offer a lot of other extracurricular activities and programs at our school. We are preschool through 8th grade. And if you are interested, we have enrollment open right now. So you can visit any of those schools. We would be happy to take you on a tour and get an inside look at what we're doing.
And you're the advancement director. Are there other programs coming up for late spring or summer? Are you having any fairs or festivals or
Yes.
bazaars?
So actually this week in May, I have 3 events that we're planning. So Sunday, May 3rd, everyone is invited to a tea party, kind of a pre-Mother's Day. So that will be at St. Cecilia's Hall in Rochester at 1 p.m., 1 to 3. We're going to do a tea party.
Will there be like watercress sandwiches and?
We're going all out.
I have to have my pinky out when I'm holding the tea. Okay.
You definitely have to have your pinky out.
Okay.
And that is pay what you want. Just come, support us, get to know us, pay what you want. We'll have raffle baskets, obviously great variety of teas, pastries. We've got a lot of good bakers actually in our school. So some of the moms have stepped up. Yeah. And it's part of the Christian Mothers at Our Lady of the Valley. And then obviously Blue Notes and Blessings on Thursday, May 7th. And then bright and early the next morning, we've got a golf outing. It's
wait, the day after?
The day after. Who planned
that?
this?
Thank you. Yeah.
I did.
It was a good idea, I'm sure.
In hindsight, yeah, right. So at the Beaver Valley Country Club, right here locally, we are doing our golf outing.
That's the one in Patterson Township,
Yes.
Patterson Heights? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice course there.
So hopefully we'll get some great weather like we did last year.
Yeah. But the event we're highlighting Blue Notes and Blessings. It's said to be a night of handcrafted cocktails in a warm, sophisticated atmosphere, adding a distinctive touch to the evening. Will be noted cigar sommelier. I just like saying that word. Sommelier Vince Ornd with custom cigars rolled especially for the occasion. And as I can tell, Steve Contanzeri wrote this because the writing is really good. It's for those feeling adventurous, the chance to roll their own under his expert guidance. The night concludes with coffee and desserts, leaving guests with a memorable send-off into spring. You were mentioning pastries. I hope some of those ladies from the church are going to be helping out with the desserts here.
We do have homemade desserts for this event. Yes.
Nice.
And some chocolate-covered pretzels from Anderson's. My favorite.
Good pick there. So doors open 6:30 p.m., Blue Notes and Blessings. And I don't know. I mentioned the fact it's a Thursday. I like that. I mentioned the fact it's local. This is something, it sounds like you'd have to drive to Pittsburgh to see, but you can park for free. And
Absolutely.
And for people thinking, well, it's at the country club, but it's open to everyone.
It is. Yes. Anyone and everyone.
I went to, they had a chocolate festival there once for McGuire Home. It was just wall-to-wall chocolate. But that's a beautiful place, Seven Oaks, the banquet facility and everything. And,
yeah, we'll be in the Oak Room, surrounded by open windows, beautiful setting, great food. I've heard the food is fantastic, so looking forward to that too.
Now, we were talking to Eric DeFade earlier. He would be the jazz performer along with his wife, and he's such a modest guy. You know, I always got to kind of draw him. If I was him, I would have my 2 Grammy Awards in my hand as I was walking down the street, just to kind of.
Maybe you can get his autograph while we're there.
Exactly. But his wife Kelly will be singing, a very versatile performer as well, and she's been on stages all over the country. Also a singer, dancer, actress, graduate of Youngstown State. So good 1-2 punch there of music. And if you ever get a chance to see Eric DeFade in Pittsburgh or Lincoln Park, you know what I'm talking about. If not, it's definitely going to be a treat. So again, it's Blue Notes and Blessings. Did you pick the title?
No.
Okay. I like it. I've warmed to it. But it's going to be Seven Oaks Country Club, a meaningful mission helping Catholic education. Anything else you want to say about the churches, the schools that are involved themselves?
No, just our 3 Catholic schools, Our Lady of Fatima School, St. Monica Catholic Academy, and Saints Peter and Paul. So we are really covering a broad area, obviously, in the county. So like you said,
Hopewell,
everyone.
Beaver Falls.
And Beaver.
Okay. St.
Yes.
Monica was formerly named, was it called something before that, or am I dating myself, or am I getting my schools mixed up? Okay, I'm Noah's a graduate. He'll come in, he'll correct me on that.
That's right, yeah.
But people know where the location is. And as far as enrollment, you said that is open right now. Is there a
It is, yeah.
website or a phone number people call? Or
Yes. So we are regionalized now through South Regional Catholic Elementary Schools. So that's a bit of a change that has shifted in the last couple of years. So our 3 schools are part of kind of one umbrella. We have one school with 12 campuses, but each individual school obviously has, they're different in what they offer and things like that. So we just recommend that you can call each school, you can set up an appointment and come see what we're doing in our schools, meet our staff.
Little birdie told me St. Monica used to be Divine Mercy Academy. That's what I remember.
There you
Before
go.
that, it was St. Mary's. Yeah. People out there listening. All right. I think we've covered just about everything I can think of for Blue Notes and Blessings. And I think at some point they wanted me to be there and get up and say a few words.
Yes.
I'll be much more prepared for that, I promise. But if you're out there listening, come on. Here's a chance to enjoy exceptional food and handcrafted cocktails in a warm, sophisticated atmosphere. You got the local cigar expert, Vince Orn, is going to show you how to roll your own cigars. You got music from Eric DeFade and his wife, world-class jazz, celebrating a couple Catholic jazz artists. Mary Lou Williams, a Pittsburgh native who was a pioneer as a female jazz artist way back. And then Dave Brubeck, it's a name people know, his hit song Take 5 and more. But so you're going to hear some meaningful music. It all ties in, world-class jazz, great food at Seven Oaks Country Club. Again, one more time, the website is bluenotesandblessings.org. So Lauren, I know you're busy as the advancement director at Saints Peter and Paul, but as far as acting, we're going to see you back on stage. You mentioned you were center theater players back in the day, commercials, any?
That's right. Nothing planned as of now. I did a photo shoot a couple weeks ago. That was fun to be back on set again. But we'll see what happens.
Do you have an internet movie database page? Not yet? Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Have to work on that.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
Get there.
Well, you're welcome to come in and record any commercials for us because
I would love to.
You got that great voice here. All right. Well, we appreciate you spending time with us. Good luck on Blue Notes and Blessings.
Thanks for having me.
How would you like to have your own credit union office right in your living room?